Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I hope you're having an incredible day or night in Jesus. Fundamentals of the Faith by John MaCarthur. So thanks so much for being here. Do check out our other videos. Subscribe, join us daily. I think the title of this is apt because it harkens back to the Fundamentals by R.A. Torrey and so many others, 4-volume set back in the 19-teens. So this is 13 lessons to grow in the grace and knowledge of Jesus Christ. I think that is so important. This was done in 2009. It uses the NASB, which they kind of do the LSB. And another thing that's kind of interesting is it comes with perforations in here. And one thing I should have looked at beforehand, I think it releases the copyright. I didn't double check that. Like, so you can, make copies of this to pass it out like new converts classes and stuff like that. Now, to me, I'm going to have a lot of agreements with John MaCarthur. I'm going to have enough disagreements, especially in some vital areas, that I would not use it as that, but just for reading, it's okay. So an introduction to the Bible, how to know the Bible, God, His character and attributes, the person of Jesus Christ, the work of Christ, salvation, person and ministry of the Holy Spirit, prayer in the believer, the church, fellowship and worship, spiritual gifts, evangelism in the believer, obedience, God's will, and guidance. And so it has a prepare for your assignment, memorize 2 Timothy 3:16. So I like all that. It's got a little introduction, how to use the assignments. Prepare for each session by downloading the assignment message from gty.org, taking notes and identifying questions you may have, filling in answers. And so that's the kind of the format of this book. It is a fill in the blank. And so in that, I could see that being just ideal for certain types of people who believe in a certain way in Jesus, for like discipleship classes and foundations classes and all this. One thing that kind of makes him stand apart against so many in the evangelical world is his real push on the Lordship salvation, it's called. And so like on page 86, call to submission, the obedience marks a true believer. And there's so many, believe it or not, that seems so obvious to people in and outside of Christianity, but there is a large swath of theology that would say that is not true. It's like evangelism in the believer. MaCarthur has some fascinating, you can see some little clips on YouTube views. He's a predestinationist, I would say in the Spurgeon mold, where Spurgeon said, you'll see for whosoever will on the outside of the pearly gates, and when you walk in, you'll look back and it'll say, chosen from the foundation of the world. That he says free will is true and predestination is true, and he doesn't understand it. He's not called to understand it. He's called to proclaim it as a Bible believer. I would agree with him like on young earth creationism, various things such as that. Some of these attributes of God, omniscience, omnipresence, omnipotence. It's got, scriptures, love, truth, mercy, eternality, immutability, sovereignty, personal applications, holiness, righteousness, and justice. And I appreciate like he puts holiness first before love. Most American Christians would do love. And then what can we know about God? I appreciate this. What does Jesus say about the means of knowing God? John 14:9 and 10. What does Paul say about Christ in Colossians 2:9? Oh, that's pretty good. And he's got a wonderful Tozer quote in here. A right conception of God is basic not only to systematic theology, but to practical Christian living as well. Like John indicates, you can't be saved without it. John 8 and also 1 John. I believe that there's scarcely an error in doctrine or failure implying Christian ethics cannot be traced finally to imperfect and ennoble thoughts about God. There is no law above God, but there is no law in God. That's from the Zondervan Pictorial Encyclopedia of the Bible, which I really like that as well. So this, it's a big book. It's not a real long book. It's less than 100 pages. So it may be something you want to go through, whatever the case. But Fundamentals of the Faith by John MaCarthur. I guess my disagreements with John MaCarthur are well known and elucidated. So God bless you. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.